will discuss dance and pop culture beyond Western norms and share success stories, turning K-pop passion into social media careers. I'm Arzu Oskal. I'm chair of Arts Alive SDSU. We are a campus initiative that supports art-centric research and project development. We promote interdisciplinary engagements, learning, such as this one. We would like to begin this programming by acknowledging the Kumeyaay people, traditional custodians of this land on which we gather today, and pay our respects to their elders, past and present. We would like to thank everyone, students, faculty, and staff involved in this production. And we have the part 2 tonight, the K-pop dance showcase. It's going to be here at 7 p.m. Hope you can come to that one as well. I would like to especially thank our panelists today, Dr. Choyoung Oh, Associate Professor of Dance Theory and Practice in the School of Music and Dance, who also proposed and organized this wonderful event and the showcase tonight. She offers the first K-pop dance courses in the U.S. At San Diego State. And she is the author of K-pop dance, Fandoming Yourself on Social Media, which is a very, very great book that I started reading this weekend. Very inspired. Dr. Virginia Lohagen, Director, SDSU APIDA Center, Professor in the College of Education. She is the author of several academic publications and more than 70 children's books. A is for Asian American and Asian Pacific Islander. The American alphabet is just one of them. Please give it. Chitra Gopalakrishnan, lecturer of graphic design at the School of Art and Design. She is a co-founder of rural social enterprise in India called Kara Weaves. And she runs an interdisciplinary studio practice mixing motion graphics, painting, AR, and typography. Emily Xuan is a graphic designer, illustrator, one of our panelists, but however, she's looking for parking at the moment. So well, we all know SDSU, so she'll be here momentarily. But she is a former student of Chitra, and Emily is a content creator on social media and a big K-pop fan. And
there she is.
Sakura. Oh, I think
there's Emily. On time.
Right on cue. And Cherry Sakura is a content creator, YouTuber, and founder of Control Alt SC K-pop dance team. And she studied visual arts in college. And before I hand the microphone to the panelists, I would like to quickly acknowledge the SDSU leadership, the Campanile Foundation Adams Endowment Grant, and One SDSU for their support to our programming. And of course, the XLI team, especially Elizabeth Allison behind the camera, our public affairs and communications specialists. Please note, checking in is required. Please use the iPads if you haven't done so on your way out. We would appreciate that. Thank you so much, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much. So I have the distinct honor of both serving as the panelist and a moderator. So those of you that know me know I love to talk, so this is fabulous. But I'm so glad to be here today and to see you all in here. I just want to, let's start off by seeing how many Army folks do we have out there? How many folks are, oh, there you go, Dr. Kamala. Be proud. All right, cool. All right, how many of you have heard of K-pop? Okay, everybody should, because unless you're living in a cave right now, you know what K-pop is. It's everywhere. So we're very excited to be talking about this today. So the first question that we're gonna ponder is, what does K-pop bring to APIDA and our SDSU community in general? So APIDA stands for Asian Pacific Islander Daisy American. So I'm gonna start with Dr. O. So what does K-pop bring to APIDA and our SDSU community in general?
So I think I think Virginia can answer the best for this question. But just to get started, I think one of the things that makes APIDA community exciting through K-pop is that we haven't had much positive media representation about Asian and Asian American in general. So a lot of my students who started their dancing career as a K-pop cover dancer and later turned into more professional, they sort of shared the first time when they saw BTS, for example, on the mainstream American pop music and all the award. And they are not, of course, Korean or Korean American, but they found all those childhood memory quite empowering because BTS, for example, was literally the first Asian figure they saw from the mainstream television show. So,
Cherry, would you like to add to that?
Yes, of course. Hi. As you guys may know, I am part of a dance team called Control SD, and we are doing our very best to represent San Diego and the SDSU community. So by doing that, we post YouTube videos of K-pop dance covers. And yeah, we want to expand San Diego's global mark by using YouTube, by doing dance covers of K-pop. So I hope we'll still striving to do our best.
Super, thank you. Chitra, over to you.
Hi, folks. The most exciting thing for me about the overlap of K-pop and our SDSU community, the APIDA community too, but in a general notion, I found it wildly exciting that our students who were interested in it were hosting or offering free dance lessons at various parking structures and lots around campus on random Friday nights, and I found that such a fun way, and it was such an inclusive community because I've joined a few of them, not that I can dance, but I'm enthusiastically clapping and trying to follow. But I found it to be, the bar is so low in terms of, the empathy, the inclusion, the sense of belonging is so high when you show up to these events. You may not know anything about it. You might just want to get a free workout, or you might just be curious as to what are those kids doing in the corner of that parking lot. But they don't turn anybody away. You can join. You don't need to know any steps or any context. For me, that community building angle of dance and music is so critical to our student community here. As an educator here, I find it so amazing to see our students, welcome each other into these groups, whatever it is. And K-pop has been a very global, very huge binding force in that, and I find that so amazing.
So you mentioned that they don't turn anyone away, which is true, but sometimes I think they should. Because I showed up, and I'm brave, and I got there and danced too, but they definitely should have turned me away. I was awful.
But that's the thing though, it's about feeling the music,
Definitely
and you feel,
fun.
and the movement is a direct link to your brain status of being happy, being in a community. Synchronized dancing, I think the best thing about that is that you are doing whatever everybody is doing in a group, and you're part of a big, you're some of the whole kind of thing,
Sure.
So I feel like everybody, I don't dance either, my knees really hurt, but I love it so much.
And Emily, what about you?
I'm in the same boat. I don't really dance, but I love. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't really dance, but I love watching music videos, watching the performances and stuff. And I think I'm on more the visual side of things, where I'm more interested in the graphic design of things such as the K-pop albums. You see, in comparison to Western albums or just merchandise, you don't get as much inclusions and stuff. And that's the thing I geek out about. I don't buy as many albums, but I will get excited when I find photo cards, stickers. I admire a lot of the TXT albums and their comebacks because their logos are so good with each comeback. And I think that's the thing that gets me going with K-pop, besides the music itself, is just the art, even the music videos itself. I also apologize, I'm speaking very fast. But even the music videos itself, it's there's a very good storytelling building with them. For Yuji's example, I got into them because there's a whole conspiracy theories with each music video, and that's just a whole aspect in itself, and I think that brings in a lot of the audience because everyone loves curiosity and just focusing and just getting their minds going about, conspiracy theories, stories, even the visual aspects of like K-pop in itself. Did I explain that very well?
Yes,
I don't
you
know.
did. You did a
I'm
great
like-
job. You did a great job. It's okay. We know that SDSU parking is a mess, so
I know, I'm still like breathing really heavy.
you're still coming down.
Yeah.
Okay. I just to add to this, I know you brought up K-pop being a binding agent, and I think that's what I really see in my space. As director of the APIDA Center, we host a lot of the APIDA initiatives and programming, and our K-pop programs are always a hit. And this is having heard Dr. O talk about her wonderful research. I know that a lot of what you also talk about is the fandom, and I think that that's part of the community, right? It's not that you don't just have to perform it to be a part of this community. You just have to love it and be interested in it, and it's a whole big thing. And one of the things that I found is that it is something that people can talk about, right? Strangers. If they see a sticker on your water bottle, which I know that's what y'all do now, but if they see that and it's related to K-pop, it's a conversation starter. So it's definitely a way to bring people together. Last year we hosted one of our successful events was the APIDA Expo. And we had K-pop, we did random dance playing, we had other pop culture, but it was the highest attended Aztec night event outside of Welcome Week. So we know that it draws a crowd. So I think that's really what's exciting about what K-pop brings to the APIDA community and SDSU in particular. You don't have to be APIDA to enjoy K-pop. And it's a way for people to get into the culture and to appreciate the culture. So I think that's what I really enjoy about K-pop. Plus it is just darn fun. It is a whole lot of fun. So. Thank you for your comments and for being a part of the big fandom, I guess, that we have. So the second question, and I want to also give kudos to Dr. O for creating these questions. So these are her questions as well. But K-pop has opened entrepreneurial and small business opportunities to many. Can you share your experiences? And that could be the visual arts, digital content creator, dance, etc. I think we've kind of touched upon that, but if you want to add to that, I would like you to do so. So how has K-pop opened up entrepreneurial opportunities for you? So I think we'll start with Emily, because I
think that's the main reason why I'm here. Because I have a semi of a small business. I just have put it on hiatus for quite some time now, but when I got into K-pop because of BTS, and I'm an artist on the side and everything like that, and I just loved everything visual about BTS, and just after a while even K-pop in itself. And so I ended up creating my own little business because I love to paint, and I just love quote unquote subtle K-pop merch. But granted, when I was making my business at the time, I would say painting jackets of scenes from music videos or just K-pop in general on jackets isn't super subtle, but it could be, I guess. And so that kind of just opened up my opportunity in terms of creativity, because I've been exploring different things. I mean, I got into graphic design because I love the K-pop merch and the design aspect of that as well. I also have done some physical prints of things, digital art. And that's just more of me just getting more and more into my creative side, because I feel before K-pop I was in just the arts, but not really practicing per se. I just would say I'm an artist, but I don't have enough work to really show it. And now I'm kind of at the space where I'm I think I have a little bit going that maybe people know maybe possibly from TikTok for a little bit at some point, and then I died off of there, unfortunately, so probably you won't know my account at all. But that's kind of where I am with the whole entrepreneurship, I would say. I'm still kind of just building a little bit of a brand, but we'll see where that goes from here.
Yeah. So Chitra, given your background in graphic design, what can you add to this conversation?
First, I want to say she has wildly undersold herself. Her work is phenomenal, and the subtle attention to detail is just something. She's got some samples to show you folks later. But yes. I think, I'm curious about this. I'm visiting the cup sleeve events or the little markets that are held around town where people make merch. I find it so incredible to see the number of women-owned businesses that are supported or that are actively participating, generating income, doing so well, thriving in the marketplace here in San Diego. So the women-owned businesses, the backgrounds of the people are so diverse. They could be Asian American, they could be Latinx folks. There's, a wide variety of people who are, I find that fascinating as a small business owner myself, in India though, and which is funny, our small team I run a social enterprise that works with textiles and hand weaving, and our company is intentionally only staffed by women and run by women, but who knows? Our whole team is BTS fans. That is something I found out about them much later, but it's wild to me that in rural India, in southern Kerala, there is this office full of BTS fans, and they're not the only ones. There's so many people in our community who discovered this. I think the pandemic was one of the reasons where your world was inside your phone. So it again dovetails to Dr. O's book and, fandoming yourself on social media. But I think entrepreneurially, it's wild to see the ways it has impacted the economy of our region here. Yeah.
Can you speak more about, and I just learned about the cup sleeve community. Can you just, for those of us that don't know about that, can you explain what it is?
Who wants to do that?
I can help explain it if anything.
I think they host these events. I also thought the term, I didn't know what a cup sleeve was. I thought it was like a type of sleeve.
Okay, let me explain the cup sleeve part. So usually these events are held at like boba places for the most part, because like a lot of the K-pop community loves boba, and so these events are held at boba places. And the reason why we can't say cup sleeves is because these like events, the creators behind them will also like probably have their own team in itself, will create like little like sleeves to go around cups for like, let's say a member's birthday, an anniversary, or like a music comeback of some sort.
Yeah.
And so we just have like this whole thing. You just buy a drink, get a cup sleeve to be a part of your like little collection of whatever you have, and then you also get to explore like the other small businesses there, because at this point the community has gotten to like actual like small vendors and businesses now, because I was at one of the first ones that were here, and it was just like a little like boba party. Like that was really it before we got to the point of like, oh, you can like have you have businesses around and showcasing their work as well.
The thing that drew me in, apart from a little party and selling merchandise in a park, outside of a store, all of these local chapters also fundraise alongside selling these drinks, and so they advertise this, they market this as an event by boba, but a percentage of sales are donated. Every event donates to local charities around, and so I feel like it's such a big volunteer effort to organize these meetups or these vendor spots, not only allowing local business owners to sell their products, and the boba shop obviously benefits, but also nonprofits in the area that they fundraise for. So it's a very complex and very empathy-driven point, which comes to, we're going to talk about that later in the point too, but I'm here for that. Empathy, I'm here for that. It's all about that.
Great. Chentra, what about you? What's your one favorite thing?
Storytelling. I'm a graphic designer, and graphic design is essentially storytelling. Visual art is storytelling. We have so many brands of so many objects in our house. Why do we still impulse buy things at stores? Is because there's a story, there's a aspirational quality to it that makes us fall for that object, right? K-pop has, from the stories in it, from the elaborate set, the objects in it, the album design. My God, the storytelling in the album design. As a pure print designer, as a graphic designer, I bring the albums. One of the questions is like my role as an educator. I bring the albums into class to talk about experience of interacting with something. You see the top of it, you open out another fold, you get deep into it. There are images that move on it. There's all kinds of fancy printing. The sky's the limit, but the storytelling is the one thing that keeps us interested in things, That's always the story. So they do it so exceptionally well that it's always been my hook into it.
Sure. And I'd say for me, it's the songs, right? They're just catchy and fun. So they make us happy. Are there sad songs in K-pop?
Totally.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah. but it's therapeutic. You know, it makes you. The goal is to make you happy in the end, but you have to face your fears. You can't just run from them.
And it could be a very catchy song. The lyrics are really sad.
Cherry, what about you? What's your favorite thing?
Oh gosh. I think I still have to stick to dancing as part of the K-pop. That's my favorite thing about it. Just again, like, I learned myself a lot. Literally just by moving my body, I got more comfortable in myself. And then I got to make a whole bunch of new friends, like in my team or out here in the community. It just brings a lot, and I'm like a workaholic, so I just like to do something. So the dance aspect of it keeps me motivated, and then I also don't like exercising. So the dance part makes it fun, and it doesn't make it like stressful or anything. So yeah, dance.
Great, thank you. And Dr. O?
Yeah, the sexy hip thrust dance.
Wow, we just got R-rated in this phase. Wow.
Just being honest.
All right.
Bringing it
real,
home
being
to
authentic. All right, great. I dig it. Okay. All right. On that note, what do you see as the next steps? Like, how do you? What's the? Thinking about Emily, you brought up trends, right? How K-pop very much so has set trends. What do you see as the next big thing in the K-pop world? What do you think? What do you predict? Or what do you want to happen?
I literally have no idea. I come into this space and I'm like especially on Twitter or something, I'm like, there's a new thing happening today. What on earth is happening? Like, you miss an hour, you miss everything. Like, I have no idea. You're asking me this, I'm like, what? What
would you like to see?
I don't really know. They've done so much at this point. Like, I truly have no idea.
Chitra, what about you?
I want our community to hang out and share our favorite memes, because that is wildly hilarious and it's wildly entertaining, therapeutic, all of the things. There's an entire meme culture that goes alongside K-pop. So many of my friends and I communicate for weeks on just those memes, and then we meet each other and we're like, ah. So I'm just saying, I love seeing the fans community come together. That's the huge takeaway for me.
Dr. O, what about you? What do you see as the next steps?
Yeah, I'm hoping that in collaboration with other departments, I'm hoping that we can help young dancers to get a job. So I'd like to create more job opportunity in the next few decades, because so I graduated from really nice ballet schools, but I think I'm the only one who still has a job. Because dancers are basically part-time job, and as you get older, you don't have any job and no health insurance whatsoever. So I think it's a waste of a lot of effort and energy. So I think it's kind of like a cheerleading. It has a big culture, big fandom. But other than teaching, there's no stable job career. So I'm really hoping that as an SDSU, we could work together and create more brighter future and stable future for our talented dancers and artists.
Yeah. And Cherry, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I watch, if you guys know A2K by JYP. Right now, JYP's been doing auditions here in America to make a K-pop group for America. So I think that's really cool. And I would hope that kind of like pushes like that K-pop structure like into more global. That would be so cool.
I think, yeah, some of the themes that came up, especially in this last round of questions and responses, to me, it's this global connectedness, right? But also an issue of sustainability. To sustain, what does it mean to sustain the fandom? So we have this large community, which we know not only has an affinity toward an interest, but has also done things in terms of moving politics. Right, and in pushing trends, etc. So what does that mean to sustain this? Because you do have, like you mentioned, there's only, your body, right? I mean, you're dancing, especially hard on your body. So what happens? So yeah, I think that's an interesting aspect of what does it mean to sustain this fandom and to sustain this culture. So we do have a question. So it's nice and loud, but I will also repeat it.
K-pop as an industry to the fact that it like fosters parasocial relationships with like people who are like into it, like with fans, like by not having the idols be allowed to date and stuff, so people can be like delusional and think that they have a chance. So what are your thoughts, and like do you agree that like K-pop as an industry does like foster these kinds of parasocial relationships with fans?
So I just know within the light, I didn't notice exactly who you were, but those are my students right there, Kripa and Sona. So who would like to respond to that question?
I think delusion is actually an essential part of fandom. Just face it. It's like we all growing up, falling in love with movie star or singers. But of course, in reality, some fans like literally getting married to their idol, but the ending is not that happy. So, but I think even if it's delusion, our brain sometimes doesn't distinguish whether it's imagination or reality. So I think maybe you can focus more on its positive, empowering aspect. Unless because we cannot change the entire reality, right?
I mean, it's not just K-pop. Remember Eminem's Stan, the song? It's literally, I mean, it's as old as idol and fan relationship. And so it, I think, comes across in many industries. And I think that's where, again, I talk about community. And I think the way you can touch grass is with your, you know the term, right? You know the term, right?
Oh, there you go.
The term. The way you can connect to the ground is with your fan friends and stay away from how to get back to reality, because it's a very tricky slope as a youth, as we are more isolated, as we are more, inside of our devices all day long, really just to know what's real and to meet other fans and do more empowering things like dance or, look at memes or whatever, but really just be there for each other. We talk about religion doing these things, and this is another thing these are other ways that you can connect to people, in a different way.
So first of all, kudos to you for using slang and context and very well.
I'm learning this.
But I also think that there's what I find fascinating about K-pop is, I do think that there's a sense of delusion when you think about the idol to fan, right? But then the fan to fan, that's a way you can. That's where you touch grass.
Touch concrete.
But yeah, I think that's really cool. But anyways, I know that we have no time left, but we want to thank you all for being here, and I want to give a big round of applause to our panel. Thank you, Emily, for fighting the SDSU Pride, and to Dr. O for inspiring this panel, and a big, huge thank you to Arts Alive. Initiatives, we wouldn't be able to put on these type of programs, and they do a ton of fantastic programs throughout the year. So if you have not followed them on Instagram, please do so. Do you have a newsletter?
We did.
And also on their newsletter, so that you don't have FOMO. Yeah, no, not I'm trying. But you don't want to miss out. So you don't want to have a fear of missing out. So you want to make sure that you stay connected with all of the fabulous programming and also connect with the APIDA Center. All right, thank you all for being here. I don't know, do you have any last words you'd like to say?
I wanted to ask you to tell about tonight.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
So we have really exciting K-pop dance showcase starting at 7 p.m. here in this theater. Cherry will be performing in addition to 35 dancers, and the show is created by nearly 80 students enrolled in K-pop Dance 383. So please join us. And I also bring a copy to Cherry. So I emailed her as soon as the book is out, but it took a while to deliver you the actual copy. So
Thank
thank you for joining us, and thank you for
read it, guys.
performing for SDSU today.
I'm excited.
All right, well, thank you all for coming. See you tonight, right? Everybody, see you tonight, 7 o'clock?
We have dancers.